So it's advisable for a company to start earlier to get yourself ready, in particularly few areas, right? Number one, the commonly done is as a founder's SME company, you do your accounting in a cash accounting manner where we call the MPERS, right? But for IPO company, you need to convert your accounting standard to something called MFRS, and then you need to build the database for 3 years. So hence, if you won't have the data ready and you want to go for listing, right, then it might be very timely for them to start doing it. So probably like what you mentioned earlier, if you start having that vision, right, you can do this in 2-3 years ahead, then when you really want to push the button for the IPO, you will be ready. On the second point, is more on the compliance and licensing matters. So for companies to go IPO, it's very, very strict when the regulators look at your compliance manner. For example, your buildings, whether you have all the permits in place, licenses, all the CCC in place with the local councils, as well as F&B operators, you need to have all the business licenses and the food safety certification in place. So probably 1 or 2 years ahead that before we go for the listing, start getting assembling a small team to look into all this matter. We'll have to shorten the journey and make the journey smoother. Yeah.
Okay, when you say a small team, ideally who should be in the team?
Typically, lawyers is the one that is a key person to advise that from Malaysian law perspective, what are the things that you need to comply with to come up with a checklist, right? So hence, then they appoint the appropriate people to then get it fixed. It depends on what's the nature of the problem. So.
Right. You know, Junjie, looking back, what's one thing you wish you started preparing for sooner in this IPO process? What was the one thing, I guess, as you're all going through this, I wish we had done more work in this particular area?
You mean if time goes back, like what I gonna do for more, right? That can give me more convenience through the process. Actually, will be the procedures. Yeah, procedures they put in papers actually.